What's up, what's up, what's up? How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Thursday. Back for another live, yo. How's everybody doing tonight? Yo. You all know what to do. As soon as you get up in here, hit that like button down below. We gonna get it popping right now. Let me go on to the Facebook really quick. Let me put this list up here really quick. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got something for y'all. Hold on. Let me put this list up here. Hold up. I'm almost done. How's everybody doing? Hit that like button as soon as you come up in here, y'all. Let me put this list up here really quick. There you go. Let's pin that right there. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing good. As soon as you get up in here, y'all, if you like these videos, hit that like button down below. If you love these videos, let me go to the hold on. Let me go to the Facebook really quick. Put this up on the Facebook page. Give me a second, y'all. There we go. One second. Hold up. There we go. All right. We good. All right, y'all. How's everybody doing tonight? It's another beautiful Thursday night. Y'all know what it is. Time for another live. Thursday Night Live. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Don't forget, y'all. Still got some merch left. If you need the merch, it's still nice and warm outside. We still got the tees. Come and get the merch. Hit us up. 16 bars show at gmail.com if you want to get your hand on some merch. All right. I see Blocker's in the building. Blocker, thanks for coming through. Yo, we're gonna talk about something that's in the news. Something that I find kind of funny. I mean, this is not the first time it's happened. We're going to be talking today about the game dissing Eminem, y'all. So, again, we're back to this. We're back to the game. Releasing a new album. New album just came out. Drillmatic. Not too fond of the name of the album, but it is what it is. Drillmatic is the new album. And there's a track on there from the game going at your boy Eminem. So today we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk today about what's going on in the world of Verzuz. It looks like Swizz Beatz and Timbo are currently suing Triller. Triller is the promotion company that handles Verzuz. They have an app where they have a lot of, they promote a lot of stuff, boxing, MMA, music, shows, stuff like that. So it looks like Timbaland and Swizz are currently suing Triller for payment for Verzuz. We're going to talk about that as well. I see Jason is in the building. Jason, thanks for coming through. Jason is smashing Facebook right now with the videos from Music Fest from last week. If you haven't caught up with that, go check out Jason's page on Facebook. Check out his Facebook. Check out his Twitter. It's all over. Check out his IG performances on stage with that boy PD on stage with his crew doing the damn thing. So yo, go check out Jason's live show, yo, on that stage, holding the stage down. I think Jason is probably the newest member of State Property on the low. But hey, you didn't hear it from me, y'all. You didn't hear it from me. If I see Jason rocking the SB chain, hey, let's get into the show, man. Shout out to Jason. Jason's in the chat. Shout out to Blocker. I see Blocker says, are you asking me for my top 10? Not yet, Blocker. Hold on. Yo, hit that like button as soon as you get up in here. So, the game, this is Eminem again. And this is the question I have for you guys. At this point in Game's career, does the game really need to diss Eminem? And I say at this point in Game's career because the Game has an extensive career, y'all. Came out in the early 2000s. Here he is still to this day putting out music. Over 20 years of music, almost. Well known around the hip hop community. Some say he got good bars, some say he has great bars, some say he makes good music. At this point in the Game's career, what does the Game gain from dissing Eminem? Why is the Game still dissing Eminem? And I have to think about this for a second, y'all. I really have to think about this for a second. All right? So, I'm going to put something up here for you guys so we can take a look at. All right? We're going to take a look at this together here. Okay? So, like I just said, the Game has been around in the game for some time now. In 2005, he dropped his first album, The Documentary. Classic album. In my opinion, front to back, I think this is, I wore this album out, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Classic album. As far as I'm concerned, this is the Game's first studio album, The Documentary. Shout out to Dr. Dre. I see Big Sugar's in the building. Big Sugar, thanks for coming through. Shout out to Big Sugar. So, you're looking on the screen and you're seeing Game discography. I think The Documentary, is a classic album. Some people say Doctor's Advocate is a very well put together album. Some say it's classic. LAX, very solid album in my opinion. The Red Album, another, it was good. It wasn't great. Jesus Peace, The Documentary 2, The Documentary 2.5, 1992, Born to Rap, and then his final album he just released, Drillmatic. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's safe to say, that the Game is top 10 West Coast rappers. I think it's safe to say that the Game is a top 10 West Coast rapper. Hit the comments if you don't agree. Hit the comments if you agree. I see WM is in the building. WM says hi all. What's up? Shout out WM. Thanks for coming through. Alex Heron Jr. is in the building. Alex, thanks for coming through. Let me read some of these comments up in here, y'all. Jason has a comment. Jason says, either the newest member of State Property or Murder Inc. LOL. My phone blowing up like crazy and it's a week already. Petey Crack personally asked me to come on stage. I threw the diamond up. It's The Rock. Yo, listen. Shout out to Jason, man. He did his damn thing, man. Like I said, go check out the videos. It's all over Facebook. It's all over IG. It's all over Twitter, man. Go check out Jason's pages and catch up with Music Fest. Music Fest was last Friday. Performances by a lot of Philly artists. Petey Crack was up in the building. Jason did his thing. So, Jason, thank you for that comment. We got Big Sugar in the building. Big Sugar said, Block, what up? Jason said, Blocker, tired for my performance, but love the positive feedback I've been getting. Shout out to that. Shout out to that, yo. So I think it's safe to say that the Game is a top 10 West Coast artist. I'm not ready to put him in my top 5 yet. As you can see, you can look at my post right there. You see that's my personal West Coast top 5. Alright, you see Tupac in there. You're not touching Tupac. West Coast, you're not touching. Tupac is definitely in my top 5. Alright, you see Snoop Dogg is in there. You see K. Dot Kendrick, say what you want. Kendrick has been dropping bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers. Ice Cube is in there. Ice Cube has dropped some legendary albums in his career. And you see my dog Corrupt in there. Corrupt is a lyrical beast. So listen, that's my top 5. I'm not ready to put The Game in the top 5. But I think it's safe to say he can make a top 10 West Coast album artist. Why is he still, to this day, trying to get a rise out of Eminem? Let me give you some West Coast legends. I said Tupac, I said Snoop. Is Game a better artist than Spice One? Does Game jump Spice One in your top 10? Does Game jump Dr. Dre in your top 10? What about MC Ren? Does The Game have a better discography than MC Ren? DOC, Razzcast, MC8, the legendary Too Short. Does The Game have a better disc than Too Short? Does The Game crack the top 10 West Coast artists of all time? Don't forget we got Ice-T, y'all. We got the legendary Ice-T. Don't forget we got E40, yo. We got E40. E40's been consistent for many, many, many years. And let's not forget Cypress Hill, Be Real. You got to throw Be Real in there. So again, out of all those names that I just listed, I think it's safe to say that The Game can crack top 10 when it comes to West Coast artists. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. Let me hear some comments here. Give me a second. We see Alex Heron Jr. said, I agree. Jason has a comment. Jason says, I agree with you. Game doesn't get the props he deserves. None of his albums are weak. Game has a solid discography, y'all. And again, it's 2022. His first album came out in 2005. So almost a 20-year run, The Game has been putting down solid music. Thanks for that, Jason. Big Sur got a comment. Let me just read Big Sur's comment. Let me just try something here really quick. Hold on. Hold on a second. I've been trying to use this new feature that they got, yo. Give me a second. Alright, I might have to do this another time. Alright, we'll do that later. Alright. Big Sur says, I'll put The Game up there as a top 10. So Big Sur got Game in his top 10. I agree with that. Alex Heron Jr. has a comment, says, have you watched the Murder Inc. story? No, I have not watched it yet. I'm actually waiting for the weekend to really take it in. I saw the Drink Champs interview with Irv and Ja. Really good interview, and I saw Irv talking about that stuff coming up. So I haven't watched it, so if it's available, I'm going to catch it over the weekend. When I have some downtime, I'm going to catch that, Alex. Thank you for that comment. Blocker has a comment. Blocker says, I disagree with The Game being in my top 10. Okay. Again, there's a lot of heavy hitters in the West. So if The Game don't make it top 10, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. Thank you for that comment, Blocker. WM has a comment. WM says, he's definitely one of those artists that stay consistent musically and feel real solid artists. So WM also says that Game is a very solid artist. So yes, Game has what it takes to be a West Coast legend. What does it take to be a West Coast legend? What does it take to get into that elusive top 10? What does it take to get into that top 5 West Coast artists? I think Game has what it takes to get into that top 10. Maybe some people's top 5. You gotta have a classic album. In order to be in any top 5s, top 10s, especially when it comes to 10s and 5s, you gotta have a classic album. Looking at Game discography, classic album. You can check that off. You can check off he has multiple classic albums, but anyway, you can check that off. He has a classic album. Does the artist have a solid discography? If the artist has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 albums, how good are those albums? Are they, is 1 good? Is 2 good? 8 trash? If you're going to be top 5 or top 10 on the West, you got to have a solid discography. Take a look at the discography right there. I think the documentary, Doctor's Advocate, LAX, what's the other one I think I really like? And I like the Red album as well. So I think you can check that off. He has a solid discography. Timeless tracks. Alright, if you're going to be a top 5, a top 10, you got to have a track that lasts a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You can play this whole album. Look, listen. You can play this whole album top to bottom in any club right now. Here in New York City, I'm not talking about the West. You could bump these songs here in New York City and the crowd is going to go bananas. Alright, so Timeless Classics, you can check that off. He got those. Alright, longevity. If you're going to be a top 5, top 10 in the West, you got to have longevity, man. 2005, this guy put out his first album. Album after album. 2006, 2008, 2011, 2010. The new album he just put out, Drillmatic. Again, I hate the name Drillmatic. leave Nas stuff alone. But anyway, the album he just put out, Drillmatic, he's even sounding good on the new drill songs. Plus he has some classic songs in there. Plus he even took some of the classic productions from the past and remade them into new songs. So longevity, you can check that off. He got that as well. Here's one of the things that I always, it may not be a criteria. It may not be a criteria for most people, but it's a criteria for me. All right. You got to go into battle and come out of battle. As a top artist, I don't want to hear you never went into a battle with nobody. I don't want to hear it. If you're top 5, top 10, you have to have been in a battle. I don't want to hear you've been a squeaky clean artist. J. Cole, and I love J. Cole. I don't want to hear you a squeaky clean artist. Because back in the 90s and early 2000s, hip-hop was a competitive sport. Alright? Every artist was coming at every other artist. I'm the best. Oh, you think you're nice? Take these bars. You got a #1 song? I'm going to put out a #1 song. Oh, you got a classic album? I'm going to put out a classic album. All of the greats. Notorious B.I.G., rest in peace. Tupac, rest in peace. Big Pun went into battle with 50 and then rest in peace. Jay, rest in peace. Jay's there. Nas is there. All of the greats. Snoop Doggy Dogg. All of the greats. Whenever you mention a great that is a top 5 or top 10, one of the things that's prevalent along them all, at some time in their career, they went into battle, win or loss, they went into battle and came out with some battle scars. The Game went at Meek Mill, he went at 50, G-Unit, and he went at some other rappers as well. He went at Jay, and he's been going at M. So battle tested, you can check that off as well. Alright, so all I'm saying is, At this point in Game's career, I don't understand the need to diss Eminem. Why are you still coming at this man? Why are you still throwing shots at this man? You have the resume of a West Coast legend. You are a West Coast legend. Whether it's top 10, whether it's top 5, you are a West Coast legend. What it is that you're still dissing this man? And I have an answer. I have an answer. The Game wants to do a versus with Eminem. He went after 50. He challenged 50 to do a versus. 50 turned it down. He's beefed with Eminem many times before. Eminem hasn't responded. There aren't too many artists out there that can do a versus right now and pull in a big crowd. Doing a versus right now and winning, if the Game does a versus right now, if the Game does a versus right now, we all know how big Versus is. We all know that Versus is worldwide. Eminem has a fan base that is worldwide. Not just in the US, not just in UK, not just in Australia, not just in the West Indies, not just in Africa, not just in India. Eminem has a fan base worldwide. There are millions and millions and millions there are millions of Eminem fans out there. If the Game can get Eminem to do a versus and win, if the Game gets on that versus stage and the whole world is watching, the whole world is watching the West Coast, one of the West Coast generals, one of the West Coast most loved MCs, one of the West Coast top 10, maybe top 5 MCs, the Game. If the Game gets on that versus stage and the world sees him destroy Eminem, this will change. This will change the perception of Game. He thinks he's one of the best rappers ever. There's no doubt about that. He thinks he's one of the best rappers ever. If he gets on the Versus worldwide stage, battles Eminem, everybody's going to tune in. If he wins, hit the comments down below, y'all. Let me hear what y'all got to say about this. I see Shadow D is in the building. Shadow D, thanks for coming through. WM is in the building. Jason is here. Big Sugar is here. I'm going to go to some of these comments. Let me see what y'all saying. I'm going to go back to WM's comment. WM says he's definitely one of those artists that stay consistent musically and feel real. Solid artist. I agree. Game has always been one of my favorite artists, not just West Coast artists. I don't think he's one of the most lyrical artists. Like when it comes to lyrics and bars, he's not in my top 10, top 20 when it comes to lyrics and bars. No. But as an artist that knows how to make music, knows how to make songs, knows how to make feel-good stuff, club stuff to make, Game to me is a solid artist. I agree with WM on that. Jason has a comment. Jason says, after seeing Ashanti in person, oh, we got to see Ashanti. Oh, yeah. Jason says, after seeing Ashanti in person, I see why Irv Gotti and Nelly miss her. LOL. Good Lord. And 3 fire emojis. Wow, I'm jealous, man. I'd definitely like to leave my eyes on Ashanti just to see her, be in her presence, say what's up to her. Shout out to Ashanti. WM says, good question. Blocker has a list. Blocker has a top 10 West Coast list. Let's hear I'm going to read Blocker's top 10 West Coast G-Funk rappers. Number 1, Tupac. Thank you. Don't play around. Tupac. Number 1, Tupac. Number 2, Lady of Rage. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Number 3, Ice Cube. Shout out to Cube. Number 4, Snoop Dogg. Shout out to the homie Snoop. Eazy-E. Okay, Eazy-E is a legend. Eazy-E is a legend. Okay. Eazy-E. Dr. Dre. Shout out to Dre. Too Short. Shout out to Short. Exhibit. Woo. Okay, Mr. Pimp My Ride. Exhibit is number 9. Schoolboy Q. Ooh. Schoolboy Q in a top 10. And number 10, Blocker has Blueface in a top 10 West Coast artists. Okay, Blocker. No disrespect to Lady of Rage. No disrespect to Exhibit. No disrespect to Schoolboy Q. And Blueface does not belong in any top 10 West Coast best rappers list. Okay. I gave y'all some names. I gave y'all Ras Kass. I gave y'all MC8. I gave y'all MC Ren. You're not even putting Kendrick Lamar in your top 10, Blocker? Okay. Look, I can respect your list, Blocker. I'm going to respect the list. I'm going to respect the list. Thank you for that comment, Blocker. I'm going to respect the list. Alright. Let me go into the next comment here. Shadow D says, thank you. Shout out to Shadow D. WM has a comment. WM says, maybe Game decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Give his new album some promo. That's facts. That's facts. Alright, WM, that's facts. Whenever somebody has a new project coming out, they got to stir the pot. They got to get some trend going. They got to get people talking about their album. You got to do something. You don't have to. You don't have to. But most artists, when they got a new project coming out, they do the circuit. They go on all these talk shows. They go on all these podcasts to promote their album. And some of them, they say real outlandish stuff to get the buzz going. So WM, you hit it on the head. That's facts. Let me read this again. WM says, maybe Game decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Give his new album some promo, which played out well. It did. And reinvigorate the rap game with bringing a diss formula into the mix. Okay, that makes sense too. We do need, listen, let me make this clear. I don't want rappers dissing each other and getting violent. We saw what happened in the past with some of our greatest legends. I don't want to see rappers making diss songs and people getting hurt. Sorry. But remember, hip-hop is very competitive. I don't know about now. Now it just seems like everybody just want to make money and make trash music. But hip-hop is a competitive sport. I like to see a good diss track. I like to see if somebody is talking trash about somebody else could put the pen to the paper and make a diss song and see where it goes. I love Sheeta. Homegirl was talking trash. Mary Ma put it to pen paper and make Sheeta. I don't want the violence, but a great diss song is good every now and then. So I do agree with that as well, WM. The rap game would bring in a diss formula into the mix. Thank you for that comment, WM. That's some great points. Facts. Big Shug got a comment. Big Shug said, Eminem could destroy Game if he really wanted to. And I think that is true as well. There is a reason why Eminem is not responding. I don't know what it is. I'm going to read a comment from Jason. Jason has some points on that as well. But I don't know why M does not want to respond to a Game. I don't know what it is. But M has been around for a long time in the game as well. M, if like him or not, M is battle tested. M got bars. M had classic songs. All of the things I listed for the Game that makes him such a great artist. Eminem has all of those same qualities too, and I think Eminem is even a much broader star than the Game is when it comes to worldwide. The Game is known worldwide, but Eminem is just a tad bit bigger. So, Big Sugar, Eminem could destroy Game if he really wanted to. I can't disagree with that. That might be true. Jason got a comment. Jason says, why not? Eminem dissed people who did nothing wrong to him his whole career. 98 Degrees, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Britney Spears, yeah, he did this beat. I really didn't. Nah, I wasn't feeling when M dissed Britney. That was whack, M. Britney's not a rapper, M. Leave Britney. I agree, Jason. I wasn't feeling that. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. Yeah, oh man, listen. M, you're taking the L for that too, M. You shouldn't have dissed Christina Aguilera. You shouldn't have dissed Mariah Carey. I know what happened, but these are people that's not in the hip-hop game, M. Let me read Jason's comment in entirety. My bad. Jason says, why not? Eminem dissed people who did nothing wrong to him his whole career. Okay. 98 Degrees, NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Moby, let him get his karma, LOL, it's competition. And I agree with that piece too, it's competition. As long as the Game and M don't take it to the streets, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with seeing the Game shoot the shot and see if M responds. Is M going to respond? I don't know. Thank you for that comment, Jason. Blocker has a comment. Blocker says, and 50 Cent responded back at the Game. Yeah, 50 and the Game went back and forth, but I think the Game won that round. When it comes to 50 Cent going into beefs, I think the Game defeated him in his beef. I think Rick Ross also demolished 50 when they had their beef. Oh, the Locks smashed 50 Cent. So yes, I do agree that 50 did go back at the Game, but I think the Game won that one. WM says, at Jason, true. Blocker has a comment. Blocker said, there's a rumor that Maya and 50 Cent were in a relationship. I think that has been facts for a while. Okay. Shadow D says, facts. Jason says again, Eminem even dissed Christopher Reeves. Ooh, wait, Superman, Christopher Reeves? That's, oh no, come on. And there's SMH, let Game give it to him. Oh, he did, why he dissed Christopher Reeves? Oh man, I love Christopher Reeves. Shout out to Superman, rest in peace, Christopher Reeves. We got A. Parker in the building. A. Parker, thanks for coming through. A. Parker has a comment. A. Parker says, Game is trash. So is Eminem. Oh, man. A. Parker, man. Thank you for the comment. Appreciate it. Shadow D has a comment. Shadow D says, Game is dope. Don't even get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But like you say, M is known around the world and back. I asked my kids who the Game was, and they asked what. Yeah. Shadow D, that's low, man. That's low. Let me read that again, man. That's low, Shadow D. Shout out to the kids, man. The kids be real. Shadow D says, Game is dope. Don't get me wrong. But like you said, M is known around the world and back. I asked my kids who the Game was. They asked what game he played. But that's hilarious. Yo, that's hilarious, yo. But they know M. He will have to see what M do. That's hilarious, Shadow D. Shout out to the kids, man. The kids be dropping jewels, man. Thank you for that comment, Shadow D. We got Diamond Onyx in the building. Diamond Onyx is here. Diamond, thanks for coming through. Hit that like button down below if you're here right now. Don't forget, y'all, we still got some more merch. You want to purchase the merch, hit us up at 16barshow@gmail.com. You want to look good for the summer. You want to bag up some shorties before the summer ends. Throw on one of these, man. You guaranteed you're going to bag one or two shorties with this, man. Shout out to the ladies too. If you want to bag a shorty or bag some fellas, hit us up. We're gonna make you look right for the summer. Diamond Onyx is here. Diamond Onyx says, let me go and tap like button bars. What up? Shout out Diamond. Hope everything is good over there. How's Diamond and Onyx doing? Hope they're doing good as well. Enjoying the summer. Alright. Diamond got a few comments. Diamond says, Jason, hey, record artist to the world. Alright. Diamond is shouting Jason out for his performance last Friday. And Blocker has a comment. Blocker says, I have another album review to post. Alright, Blocker, shout out to that. Alright, y'all. So, again, we asking, why is the game dissing Eminem at this point in his career? I don't think that the game needs to diss Eminem at this point in his career. I think the game has solidified his name in the rap game. He doesn't have to do this, but with most things these days, there's always an end game that these guys are playing. And like somebody else says earlier, his album just came out, so doing these promo runs, a lot of artists, when they do their promo runs, they like to say stuff. Kanye West did it as well recently too. They like to say stuff just to stir the pot so that it drums up excitement for their albums. I think it's kind of corny. You know, if you have music, put it out, let the music speak for itself. If you got an album coming out, go out there, promote your album. Again, Game's album is called Drillmatic. Again, I'm not feeling the name of the album. You know, there's some stuff we should leave alone, Illmatic. But album's called Drillmatic. There are 29 tracks on the album, and this track is track number 23, which is the Black Slim Shady. Is Game a top 10 West Coast artist? Is Game a top 5 West Coast artist? You guys can see my top 5 list right there. I got Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Ice Cube, and Corrupt. Those are my top 5 West Coast artists. I see Fresh Boy Rent RD Entertainment. Let me make sure I got that right. We got Fresh Boy RD Entertainment. Ooh, Fresh Boy RD. Ooh, that's an ill name. Ooh, I finally got it. That's an ill name. I like that. Fresh Boy RD Entertainment has a comment, says, Game always been nice. Yeah, man. Here on the East Coast, I picked up the album as soon as it came out back in the days, and it's still an album that gets bumped for me time to time. I was bumping this last week. Matter of fact, Friday when we were out hanging out. Game has a very solid discography and classic stuff. Game has. WM has a comment. WM says, maybe M was like, Game is just looking for a free promo. I'm not going to give him freebies. Yes, Eminem, again, Eminem is not a fool. Eminem has been in the game for a long time as well. So he knows these angles these guys are coming from. As soon as their album come out, they want to say something about me. Now I'm going to respond. Now their album's going to get sales. So that could be a good point. M is like, you know what? I'm not going to give you no free promo, man. Let me see. Let me leave this till week 2 when the album sales come out. If the album sales flop, I'm gonna make a statement. Look, your album. But shout out to WM. That's a great point, man. M is probably just sitting back. You know what? Let me see how the album sells. Let's shift gears for a second, y'all. Let's shift gears for a second. Now, I must admit, when I first saw this story, I was both upset and bewildered at the same time. So, if you don't know, making the round in the news recently is Swizz Beatz and Timbaland are suing Triller for Verzuz. Now, if you don't know what Triller is the company that handles the promotion. It's like a promotion company. They have an app, they have a link, they have a website, and they mostly promote, they're like an event promoter. They promote UFC, they promote boxing, celebrity matches, concerts, shows, stuff like that. So Triller, they have an app that I usually watch Verzuz on. When the Verzuz comes on, I usually either watch it on YouTube, on my phone on Instagram, or I toggle between the Triller app. The Triller app is really good. It has a nice big screen, surround sound is pretty good too. So I usually watch Verzuz on Triller as well. So Swizz Beatz and Timbaland are currently suing Triller. So I have some information here with the information. Let me get the information up here. Let me put this up here for you guys. All right, so this is this is a statement that was released, okay? And the statement goes, according to the lawsuit, after Triller failed to make a large payment to Swizz and Timbaland in January of 2022, the company agreed to a settlement requiring Triller to pay them $18 million. So Triller was going to pay them $18 million, $9 million each by March 20th of 2022, with $1 million per month for the following 10 months. So in March, they got that $9 million. They were supposed to get that $9 million, and then every month after that, they were going to get $1 million per month for the next 10 months. All right. Triller has not made any of those promised payments, the suit alleges. A copy of the complaint is below. This is another quote. To date, defendants have failed and refused to make any payments to Swizz Beatz and Timbaland of the past due sum due and owing. According to the lawsuit filed Tuesday in Los Angeles County Supreme Court, the oversaid defaults constitute material breaches of the agreement by the defendant. So this is a statement that was put out stating that they made the initial payments, but they have not fulfilled all of the final payments. All right. I have another quote here we're gonna read to you guys. So this one states, in his statement to the Post, this is the first statement that was from Swizz Beatz and Timbaland, that was from their lawyers. This one right here, this one here is from Triller. So Triller says, Triller called the lawsuit truly unfortunate. And this is their quote. We hope it is nothing more than a misunderstanding driven by lawyers, the company said. We do not wish to air our dirty laundry in the press, but we have paid Swizz and Tim millions in cash and in stock. Again, remember, the first post said that they paid them 18 million. So they got 9 million each, Swizz and Tim. The initial 9 million, they were supposed to get another 1 million every month for the next 10 months. But here is Triller's statement. We do not wish to air our dirty laundry in the press, but we have paid Swizz and Timbo millions in cash and in stock. They continue. No one has benefited as much from Triller to date. So again, I told y'all, Triller does a lot of stuff. They do stuff with UFC fighters. They do boxing events. They've done some celebrity boxing matches. They do sports events. They do concert. They do a whole slew of different stuff. And here they're saying that no one has benefited as much from Triller to date. So it seems like Verzuz is maybe the top earner when it comes to what they do over there at Triller. Triller has helped fuel Verzuz to new heights. Let me address that. Let me address that. Because when Verzuz first started out, we all remember it was on Instagram. You had to go on Instagram to watch the Verzuz on Instagram. Then they went over to Apple. They went over to Apple. iTunes was handling it, and Apple had a nice setup. I gotta admit, Apple had an amazing setup. And whatever happened with Apple, they stopped the deal with Apple, and then they started doing the deal with Triller. And let me just say this. From the Instagram setup to the Apple setup to the Triller setup, I gotta admit, so far the Triller setup is the best setup. What they've been doing over there at Triller, the way it's, like I said, if you watch it on Instagram, you really don't get the full picture of the experience. When you watch it on YouTube or when you watch it on the Triller app, Triller has a YouTube page you can watch it on, or you can go to the Triller app and watch it. When you watch Verzuz on Triller, you get the full screen, the whole stage. They panning back and forth in the crowd. They showing you different angles. So to this date, I do have to admit, when you watch it through Triller, it does give you the best experience. Let me continue. Triller has helped fuel Verzuz to new heights. I agree. Making it the global cultural phenomenon it is today. We hope to resolve this amicably and quickly, and truly hope it's just a misunderstanding. This is their quote. If we are forced to defend it, we are more than optimistic the truth and facts are on our side. So like I said, when I first saw this news, I was totally bewildered. I was like, what is going on? And I had to ask myself, who really owns Verzuz? Because after every Verzuz, Swizz and Timbo go on their Instagram page and they do a recap of the Verzuz. They go on there for about an hour. They do a recap of the Verzuz. They even talk about what next Verzuz is coming up, what we would like to see. They even ask the questions, what we want to see in the next Verzuz. So I'm confused. Who owns Verzuz? You guys enlighten me. Hit the comments down below. I really want to know what's going on. Iman is in the building. Iman, thanks for coming through. Let me read some of his comments up in here. Diamond got a comment. Diamond says, came in late, but the fight with Swizz, Timbo, and Triller is ghost. The agreement to pay was a void because of non-payment since the sale of its brand. I'm just saying. Okay, a lot there, Diamond, I'm still confused with what's going on too. If they sold this to Triller, how are they still so involved in it? Because it seems to me like, Diamond, it seems to me like Swizz and Timbo are still managing Verzuz. I don't know. Diamond, thank you for the comment. Again, we got Iman in the building. Shout out to Iman. Big Shug has a comment. Big Shug said they should have never sold Verzuz in the first place. How do you sell Verzuz for 25 million? Like, I would think that from all the things we've seen with masters being sold, artists trying to get their masters back, distribution deals, artists putting their music in different movies and getting all of these. I would think if that's the case, why this is something that can last. Listen. I don't know if you love or hate Verzuz. I don't know if you think that Verzuz is a pandemic thing and it's over, but Verzuz is not going on anywhere, y'all. Verzuz is going to be here for the next 5, maybe 5 or more years if they handle it right. So Verzuz ain't going nowhere. So I'm with Big Shug. How do you sell Verzuz for 25 mil? If you guys manage Verzuz right, within a couple of years, you're supposed to make that money. Listen, Big Shug, I don't understand, man. I don't understand it. Diamond said, Big Shug, what up? What it do? Big Shug said, Diamond, what up? Good. We got Fresh Boy RD Entertainment got a comment. Fresh Boy RD says, there was promised some of the biggest Verzuz. Did they deliver? That's a good question. Wait. This is a good question, y'all. This is a good question. Fresh Boy RD Entertainment said, there was promised some of the biggest Verzuz. Did they deliver? Onyx versus Cypress Hill were two legends. That was two legendary groups. And as far as what I'm hearing from what people say about that versus went very well. The versus that was with the Ja Rule and Fat Joe in New York City, that was a very, very, very solid versus. The versus between UGK and 3-6 Mafia, a little scuffle. Nonetheless, that was an amazing versus. And let's not forget, y'all. Let's not forget, almost just over a year ago, Dipset, The Lox. Did we forget about that? Maybe the best verses, people saying. One of the best verses. Crowd participation. The place was packed. Classic bars. The words going crazy. Jadakiss even said that Def Jam restructured. Jadakiss said Def Jam, after the verses, they restructured his deal. Fresh Boy Entertainment, I would say yes. We did get some really amazing verses. Diamond Onyx has a comment. Diamond Onyx says, Apple updates are effed to me. Ooh. The tenure that they had with Apple, when Verzuz was being broadcast through Apple, it was okay. Apple dropped the ball a few times. When it came to sound tests, there was some bad sound tests. There was some time where the stream went down. And then, if you remember the one that they did when, I think when Eve was abroad and Trina wasn't, Apple did drop the ball a few times. Diamond, I agree with that. Thank you for that, Diamond. Diamond also said, a partnership gone real bad? Yes. Jason has a comment. Jason says, I'm the Verzuz plug and I don't even know what's going on. Jason, come on, man. We need you right now, man. We need you right now. This is the time we need you right now. Listen, we need to know when's the next Verzuz coming. We need to know if Game and Eminem is secretly behind the scenes signing the Verzuz to do a Verzuz. Shout out to Jason, man. Shout out to the plug. I'm gonna hit your IG, Jason. Shout out to Jason. WM has a comment. WM says, gotta go and hit the sack. Stay well and healthy, everyone. WM, thank you for coming through. Sleep well and hope you join the next stream next week, Thursday. Let me go down to the bottom, see what's going on here. Blanca has a comment. Blanca said, did you look at my Instagram story with Pac versus Biggie Smalls, the best of 10 songs? I haven't, Blanca, but I'll definitely check that out. Thank you for that. Jason has a comment. Jason said, Styles P says to boycott if Swizz and Timbaland doesn't run it anymore. Again, I'm confused with that. If they sold Verzuz to Triller, and every time Verzuz is completed, they go on their IG and they recap and they give us information on the next Verzuz, I don't understand what kind of deal they have with Triller. But yes, here's the thing, Jason. Here's where I stand on this, Jason. If I own something, if I'm Swizz Beatz and Timbaland and I own something, and I sell that to you, I sell that to someone, that person pays me money for my property. I have my property Verzuz, I sell Verzuz to you, you give me money for Verzuz. In my opinion, I have all the right to do whatever I want to do with Verzuz. If Swizz Beatz and Timbaland sold Verzuz to Triller, again, I don't know what the contract is that they have. If Timbaland and Swizz sold Verzuz to Triller, Triller should have the utmost authority to do whatever they want to do with it. That's how I feel. If I give you 18 million, I give you your 9 million each and another million depending on what happened with the, yeah, they said I didn't get all the money. But if I pay you for something and now I own it, I should be able to do whatever I want to do with that. So that's where I stand on that, Jason. Again, I don't know the ins and outs. of how much leverage Swizz and Timbo still has with Verzuz. So I don't know if there's some kind of clause that they have where they're still managing it or they still have some kind of say. I don't know. Thank you for that, Jason. That's a good comment. Big Shug has a comment. Big Shug says, we need another producer Verzuz. Facts. Facts. I definitely love the producer Verzuz. I think DJ Premier, was it DJ Premier and RZA? I think it was my favorite producer. That one, I want to see Just Blaze. I want to see Just Blaze. I would like to see, I don't know if I want to see a newer producer, but Havoc, I think Havoc should do a producer. Havoc, Alchemist, I like Havoc's production. I like Alchemist's production. So Big Shug, I really do enjoy the producer Verzuz. And like I said, Tidal has, whenever the Verzuz finishes, the next day Tidal has the whole playlist of all the Verzuz. So usually when they do the producer Verzuz, Tidal has it. So I usually random play that RZA and DJ Premier Tidal playlist. That playlist is fire. So yeah, shout out to Big Shug. That's a good comment. I like that. Producer battles, I definitely want to see another one. Iman, your messages erased, Iman. I don't know if you erased it. Put it back up. Diamond has a comment. WM, you as well. Thanks. Stay well. Blocker has a comment. Blocker says, yeah, I'm creating my own Verzuz. All right, shout out Blocker. All right, y'all. So again, I think the game is a West Coast legend that does not need to constantly come at Eminem. I think game is solidified in a top 10 West Coast legends. Again, I'm going to give you some names that I think you should consider putting in your top 10 West Coast legends. We have Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Spice One, Kendrick Lamar, Dr. Dre, MC Ren, the DOC, Raskaz, MC8, Too Short, Ice Cube, Ice-T, Corrupt, E40, and Be Real. If you're going to have a top 10 West Coast artist, I think that those are some of the names that should be mentioned when we mention West Coast legend. Is the game in my top 10? Yeah, I'm going to put the game in my top 10. Top 5? No, not yet. He's not there. I don't think he's ever going to get there to top 5. But top 10, he's in mine for sure. Fresh Boy RD Entertainment has another comment. Fresh Boy RD Entertainment says, no Nas, Jay, Rihanna, Beyonce, Busta, Missy, Usher, Chris Brown, Outkast, Mobb Deep. I would like to see Nas do a Verzuz. I don't think Nas will. Rihanna, if Rihanna does a Verzuz, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my, yo, listen. I will totally lose it if Rihanna does a Verzuz, yo. Shout out to Riri, shout out to the bad gal, new mom. I would like to see a Beyonce Verzuz as well. Busta has been asking for a Verzuz. I want to see Busta do a Verzuz. Missy, I'm not too hyped on Missy doing a Verzuz. It'll be cool. Usher, I definitely want to see Usher do a Verzuz. Chris Brown, I would love to see Chris Brown do a Verzuz. Outkast as well. I would like to see Outkast do a Verzuz. Mobb Deep, rest in peace Prodigy. I don't want to see Mobb Deep do a Verzuz because Prodigy is not here. I don't think anyone can really, and I know what some of y'all are going to say. Some of y'all are going to say that Bun B did a Verzuz and he did Pimp C's Verzuz and stuff. No disrespect to Pimp C, but I don't think there's anyone that can recite Prodigy's rhymes other than Prodigy. And I love Mobb Deep is one of my top 3 East Coast groups of all time. I love Mobb Deep. Shout out to Havoc still holding it down. But I don't want to see a Verzuz if Prodigy is not there. I understand they got classic albums, classic songs, hella bangers, but rest in peace Prodigy, man. Prodigy is a New York City icon, yo. Thank you for that, Fresh Boy RD Entertainment. X-Men 1991, ooh, the cartoon, baby, let's go. 1996, 1997 was crazy. So X-Men 1991, Dark Child versus Brian Michael Cox, producer versus Michael Cox. Okay, I don't know who Brian Michael Cox is. I know Dark Child. Dark Child used to do some stuff back in late 90s, mid 90s. So yes, Dark Child versus Brian Michael Cox in a producer battle. Ooh, okay. I'm definitely going Dark Child with that one, because Dark Child, I remember Dark Child's name being mentioned a lot back in the 90s. Iman has a comment. Iman says MC8 is on my top 5. MC8 is a West Coast legend, man. Top 5? All right, Iman. Shout out to MC8. Blocker has a comment. Blocker says, no, man, I'm never putting the Game or Kendrick Lamar in my top 10. All right, Blocker, no problem. Okay, that's your top 10. It's all good. It's all good. Thanks for that comment. Charlie has a comment. Charlie says, Game is not top 10. Okay, and listen, that's just my opinion, guys. Charlie, cool. Game is not a top 10. That's cool too. Listen, like I said, there's a lot of big names. I didn't even mention Eazy-E. There's names I didn't mention in the top 10. So there's a lot of guys that can make that top 10. That top 10 West is tough, y'all. So Charlie, I understand where you're coming from. I'm putting Game in my top 10. West Coast. Alright, classic album. But if Charlie, if you don't want to put Game in there, I can respect that. Like I said, I just rattled off 15 names to y'all that could be West Coast legend. I didn't even mention Exhibit. Exhibit is another, I didn't mention Daz. Charlie, thank you for that comment. We're going to close out, y'all. Don't forget, hit us up, 16barsshow@gmail. We still got the merch. You want to look fly for the summer? You want to go bag up some shorties at that barbecue? Go looking right, yo. Holla at your boy. We're going to definitely take care of y'all, man. Make y'all look good at your next function. You're definitely going to go home with your phone with a few more numbers in your phone. Know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, see that fella across the room drinking that Moscato. Throw that tea on. He definitely going to come over and sit with something. All right, y'all. Eminem Game. Is the Verzuz going to happen? I don't know. Will I watch it? Yes, I would. Who would I go with? I'm definitely going with Game if Game does a Verzuz against Eminem. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining the stream. Thanks for coming through each and every Thursday. Don't forget, y'all, tomorrow, Freestyle Friday. We got an ill Freestyle Friday coming tomorrow, man. Ooh, it's a part 2. So don't forget, tomorrow morning, turn your notifications on. Freestyle Friday is coming tomorrow. Don't forget, if you want us to review your music, you want us to give your music a reaction, hit us up on 16bars@gmail.com, 16barsshow@gmail. We're going to put your music out there, give a listen, give a reaction to your music. Send us the MP3 file. We'll definitely put your music on the show. Don't forget to share this video. If you're here right now, hit that like button down below. Share the video. Don't forget to share our page. And this Saturday, we got another video coming this Saturday over the weekend. All right, so look out for that, y'all. Yo, it's your boy, Yo, and Slow Tree.